So we're going to start off in Supta Tadasana. Lie on your back with your heels against the wall. Just let yourself breathe. Feel the belly rise and fall. Now for this, you're going to have like a shirt or a towel or a strap handy. So now take that shirt or towel or strap, whatever you have, across your right heel. Bend your right knee into your chest. Now take your right heel up to the ceiling. So when you do this, you want to maintain a neutral spine. To do this, you're going to push your left heel into the wall, roll your inner left thigh down, and feel your pelvis go into neutral. So if you look and you can see your frontal hip bones and your pubic bone, they should be on the same plane. It shouldn't look like your pubic bone is pulled up closer towards you. It's above your hip bones or below. It's just on the same plane. From there, let your shoulders drop. Lengthen out. As you push through the heel, lengthen out to the top of your head. Feel that your hips are even. And let's just hold here for a few more breaths. Breathe length into the right leg. Now take the strap in your right hand. Take your left hand to your side. Pretend like there's a big weight on your left thigh. Keep your left thigh bone grounded. Keep your right heel pushed into the wall as you slowly start to take your right leg over to the side. So if you're doing this and your hips are tilting way over to the right, just stick something underneath your right hip. Like you could roll up a towel. If you have a yoga block, you could stick it right up against your right hip, and that'll help you from tipping over. Otherwise, I'm having to use like quite a bit of abdominal awareness to help me from tipping over to the side. So if you don't want to use so much abdominal strength, you could just put something up against your hip and you get a little more relaxed stretch. The collarbones are broad, the neck is long. I'm actively pressing my heel into the wall the whole time. Okay, now bring your right leg back up. Take the strap into your left hand and put your right hand right at the crease of your right hip. Now move that hip crease away from your chest towards your left heel as you slowly start to aim your foot towards your left shoulder. It's not going to be a big movement, you're not going to get a big stretch over to the shoulder, but just a little stretch. You're going to feel it in the outer right leg, the hip. Keep good posture, keep pressing into the left heel. Keep the neck long. Try not to let your shoulders shrug here. All right, then release that and change sides. So bring the strap across your left heel. Bend the left knee towards the chest, but make sure that you don't flatten out your lower back. So you should maintain your lower back curve throughout these stretches. You don't want it to exaggerate and you don't want it to diminish. So now I take the left leg straight up. My shoulders are relaxed. I have a little bend in my elbows. Depending on the length of your strap, you'll be able to bend your elbows or not. So as you hold in this position, think of your left thigh bone releasing away from you. Then try to bring your left heel closer towards the ceiling and towards your face. So if the left leg isn't straight, try to breathe it more straight without the thigh bone jumping up towards you. Let the thigh bone release down towards the floor away from you. Keep the right heel anchored into the wall. Roll the right inner thigh down. Just a few more breaths here. Now take the strap in your left hand, keeping the right heel pressed into the wall, the right thigh bone like it had a big weight on it, 100 pounds. Start to take your left leg over to the left. Try not to let the right thigh bone jump up. Try not to let your hips twist with the leg. So keep your shoulders flat on the mat. And remember, if you got real tilty when you took the leg over to the side, if your hips twisted way over to the side, just stick a prop underneath your left hip. You could roll up a blanket or stick a block there. As you hold here, keep pressing your right heel, lengthen your inner left leg. So from the groin towards the inner heel, reach, lengthen. And then at the same time, feel like from your outer left leg, it's plugging into the socket. Kind of like the same actions you'd find in triangle pose when you're standing. Bring your leg back up. Take the strap in your right hand. Put your left hand right at the crease of your hip, right where the thigh meets into the socket. Then move the left thigh bone away from you towards your right heel as you aim your foot towards your right shoulder. See if you can bring that foot a little bit closer towards your shoulder without straining. So let your breath flow evenly. The belly is rising and falling. Try not to hold the breath as you do these stretches. Your muscles need that oxygen. All right, now release that foot. Stretch it back out, so both legs. So now I'm just going to show you what that blanket or towel, whatever, looks like up against your hip. I've placed my shirt up against right where that blanket would go. If you're not sure, if you want to do that video again, start over. All right, now roll over to your side and press yourself up to seated. From here, sit with your legs stretched wide apart. So real important is you want to get right onto your buttock bones. You don't want your pelvis tucked under when you sit. So if you need to sit up on something like a block or a book or something so that your pelvis isn't tucked under. From here, raise your arms up and externally rotate your right arm, bend the elbow, reach back behind your back. Use your left hand to stretch that arm more. So keep good posture, sit up tall. Try not to let your waist push out or your floating ribs lift up. So soften the front ribs back down as you reach your right elbow up higher and stretch the arm. Press through your heels as if they were pushing against the wall, just like in the last stretches. Roll your inner thighs down, same drill. And then make sure that you're not sinking at the back of your pelvis. So it's like you're taking the top of the sacrum in and up as you hold here. Release and change the stretch. So now bend the left elbow, reach back behind you. Use your right hand to stretch your left elbow a little bit further, left arm. Keep your sternum lifted. Keep your chin level to the floor. And make sure that you're rolling towards the front of the buttock bones as you hold here. Press through the heels, descend the inner thighs as you lift through the side body, lift the side chest. Breathe deeply and evenly. Good, now release that, bring your fingertips behind you. Roll your shoulder tips back, lift your chest, inhale. As you exhale, turn to face your right leg, and then reach with your left hand towards your right foot. Try to keep both buttock bones grounded, both buttock bones on the mat. Then inhale, come back up. And exhale, turn to your left leg. Reach with your right hand to your left foot. Keep both thigh bones descending. Lengthen through the side body. Good, then inhale, come back up. Lift your chest, sit tall. Roll the shoulders back, turn the triceps toward each other. One more stretch here. Cross the legs at the middle of the shins, and then start to crawl your fingers forward. Let your buttock bones anchor onto the mat. Draw your navel in, so squeeze in on your outer hips and draw your navel in as you stretch forward. Then inhale, come back up. Change the cross of the legs. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Let your head drop down. So just getting some forward flexion for the spine. Breathe, lengthen to the spine. Let the back body spread and release. Inhale, come back up. Lie on your back, and let's finish with the twist. So from here, just take the legs over to the right with the knees bent. Try to keep your left shoulder, left side ribs back down on the mat. Keep the knees together if possible. Then turn your belly, bring your knees back to center. Take your knees, feet on the floor, knees bent. Let your legs fall, knees fall over to the left. When you do that, try to keep your right shoulder grounded. And it's as if your right ribs were releasing back down to the mat to help you twist a little bit more. Lengthen your tailbone, buttocks out of your lower back. Then come back to center. Stretch your legs out. And just lie in Shavasana for a couple minutes. Lie on your back flat, legs stretched out, arms at your side, palms facing up.